What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Green Zone. It'll be the NFL Week 17 edition, including some college football bowl games as well here on this. I guess you could still consider it Christmas weekend. As always, I'm your host, Sean Redden, and I actually have to run out to, sadly enough, a funeral. So I'm going to try to power through all these picks, and hopefully it's a profitable day today and tomorrow, and then I'll be back next week with the week 18 and then the end of the college football bowl season, which will take place on January 2nd is the last bowl game, I'm pretty sure. And then midweek, I'm either going to do a video or I'm going to do a social media post like I did for Christmas, for my college football playoff picks, which are going to be midweek on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day next week. So be on the lookout for either a video here on YouTube and my socials, or just some social media posts as well. And if you're looking for that, it's at S Red and Sports on X, Red Hot Locks on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, you can find everything on going on over there. That being said, let's jump right into these games. First up is going to be today, Saturday. There's two NFL games today, if you were not aware. It's going to be the Texans at the Chargers. The Chargers are a 1.5 point favorite with the over/under at 39.5. The Chargers offensive line is still massively banged up and playing brutal. I don't care how they looked last week against the Cowboys. We just saw how bad the Cowboys defense is last just on Christmas Day against the fossil Josh Johnson at quarterback. This Texans D line should be able to harass Justin Herbert in this game and really limit what they can do in this one. On the other side, the Chargers defense has been solid pretty much this entire season. But that being said, they are missing some key guys on that side of the ball as well. And I think the Texans are going to be able to go into LA and not only cover the spread, but they're going to get a win outright. I'm taking the Texans on the money line today against today against the Chargers. The nightcap tonight is the Ravens at the Packers. The Packers are a 3.5 point favorite with the over under at 38.5. Jordan Love is going to be out for the Packers in this one, so it will be Malik Willis for them at quarterback today. And he's actually played pretty well this season. But there's been no clarity as far as Lamar Jackson is concerned. So there's no way I can say anything with confidence in this game, because he's obviously the most important aspect in this game, whether he's going to be able to go for the Ravens or not. So right now, this is going to have to be a pass for me, because we do not know whether Lamar Jackson is going to play or not. Next up is the Steelers at the Browns. The Steelers are a 3 point favorite with the over under at 34.5 at 3. It's never the Browns, but it's just not enough points you would ever need to back an offense as bad as the Browns is. But on the other side right now, I cannot confidently back the Steelers either. DK Metcalf is going to be suspended this game and next week as well for hitting the fan. But I'm not even talking about the guys that they're missing. If the Packers beat the Ravens tonight, then this game doesn't matter at all for the Steelers. So they could opt to rest some guys who are banged up and dealing with some injuries. So maybe come Sunday, I'll have a play on this game, depending on how the Ravens Packers game plays out tonight. And what the weather's looking like in that game as well. But there's no way that I could confidently make a selection in this one in its current state. So nothing in the Steelers Browns for me. Moving on to the Patriots at the Jets. The Patriots are a 13.5 point favorite with the over under at 42.5. The Jets just aren't fielding an NFL roster right now. They traded all their best players on defense at the deadline, and whoever was left is basically all on IR. Their pass defense is 29th in EPA per dropback. The Patriots are dealing with a ton of injuries as well, but mainly Keyshawn Butte and Travion Henderson, and the O line as well. But this Jets defense is not a unit where that should matter. On offense, the Jets are rolling with Brady Cook again at quarterback, and he might be the only quarterback in the NFL worse than Max Brosmer from the Vikings. He has zero pocket awareness, and they just don't have the playmakers to make up for the lack of talent at quarterback. The Patriots should cover this game, and honestly, if they get to like 20 points in this one, which should honestly be their floor against this Jets defense, I think they're going to be able to cover this game. So give me the Patriots minus 13.5 against the Jets. Next up is the Saints at the Titans. The Saints are a 2.5 point favorite with the over under at 39.5. Nothing in this one. The Saints just keep losing skill players, and I'm not sure how long they can sustain playing decent football with all the injuries they're backing up when they already had one of the worst rosters in football. Also, the Titans have no motivation to win this game, and they're another team faking just taking injuries, added both of their safeties to the IR, and it's just not a game I want to be involved with here. Saints are just brutally banged up with the injuries, and like I said, the Titans have no motivation to go ahead and win this game. So I'm going to pass the Saints Titans. Next up is the Jaguars at the Colts. The Jaguars are a 5.5 point favorite with the over under at 48.5. This Jags offense has been operating as a top level offense since they added Jacoby Myers and got Brenton Strange back from injury. And then also, this Colts defense has been pretty bad the last few weeks. I don't know if you watched them against the 49ers, but I really don't know how these Jaguar receivers aren't just running free in this game. On the other side, the Colts absolutely need Jonathan Taylor to get going because Rivers is a smart quarterback. I mean, he's demonstrated the way he's talking at the line of scrimmage, but he looks like he physically is in pain when he tries to push the ball down the field, and he just can't do it consistently anymore. The Jags D should be primed for some turnovers in this game, and they've done a good job against the run. So I think it's going to be harder for Taylor to get something going in this one on the ground. Under a touchdown, I got to take the Jags here, so I'm going to lay the Jags -5.5 against the Colts. Next game up is going to be the Buccaneers at the Dolphins. The Buccaneers are a 6 point favorite with the over under at 44.5. I do like the over in this game, but I have some concern that has me hesitant to really pull the trigger on this. I think Ewers did some things last week that were pretty good, but they got into a game state where the running game was completely non-existent. And then you were just asking him to do way too much for a seventh round rookie making his first career start. So I'm not sure the run game is going to be able to get going on here as well against the Bucks because Todd Bowles is a smart defensive coach. He's obviously, I'm going to say coordinator, but he's obviously the head coach. But he still runs that Bucks defense. But he's a smart guy. I think he's going to sell out to stop the run and dare Ewers or make Ewers have to beat them. And also, the Bucks passing attack should be able to have some success against this Dolphins secondary because the Dolphins secondary has been terrible since they lost Minkah Fitzpatrick. But also the Bucks offense has been inconsistent for a while now. They're so hard to trust. My numbers show a slight edge to the over here, but I just don't think I can trust either of these offenses to really do it. So I lean the over, but I don't think it's going to be an official play for me. Next up is the Seahawks at the Panthers. The Seahawks are a 7 point favorite with the over under at 42.5. The Seahawks are once again going to be without offensive tackle Charles Cross, and that's a big loss to this offense. They've been ending up behind the chains in recent weeks, which is why this offense has kind of taken a step back outside of that Rams game. And a big reason why is because Cross has been missing getting pushed on that O-line. Having to convert third and longs routinely is not a situation you want Sam Darnold in. And the Panthers have done a good job against the run in early downs and limiting yards as well. On offense, I think the Panthers are going to be able to have success running the ball against the Seahawks. And the biggest factor on this Panthers offense is their ability to run the ball. If they're able to establish a run, the offense just flows so much better. And then even the passing game looks better because teams have to worry about the run and it opens up more stuff down the field. And then also the Seahawks are going to be flying across the country from Seattle to Carolina to play an early 1 o'clock kickoff here, catching a full touchdown in this spot. I have no choice but to back the Panthers. So give me Carolina +7 against the Seahawks. Next up is the Cardinals at the Bengals. The Bengals are a 7 point favorite with the over under at 53.5. Look, I've been a guy who early in the year loved to back the Cardinals getting margin. And I've been a guy who likes to bet against the Bengals when they're laying margin. But this number is like that for a reason. The Cardinals are really trying. They actually are playing hard, but they are just absolutely decimated with injuries. And dare I say, the Bengals defense has improved. But they actually have. They're still a bad unit, but they held the Patriots below their season long averages. They held the Ravens both games they played on below their season low averages. And then also when they played the Bills, yeah, that score got out of hand late, but midway through the fourth quarter, they had them below 20 points. In the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth, they were still under 20 points. I think the Bengals offense is going to be able to walk up and down the field in this Cardinals defense, and just the Cardinals just aren't healthy enough to play competitive football at this point in the season. So I'm going to lay the 7 here with the Bengals against the Cardinals. Next game up is the Giants at the Raiders. The Giants are a 2.5 point favorite with the over under at 41.5. The Raiders are actually like holding out Max Crosby in this game, and the Giants are gonna not play Andrew Thomas, their best offensive lineman as well. The players are obviously going to play hard, but neither organization is putting their best foot forward, as I just mentioned, and they're both trying whatever they can do to lose this game. I really don't want to get involved in a situation like that. This is the Tank Bowl, and I have no interest in betting on it. Next up is going to be the Eagles at the Bills. The Bills are a 1.5 point favorite with the over under at 44.5. I've been on Eagles unders for weeks, and it's been very profitable for us, but I think the offense is back. It started a couple weeks ago against the Chargers, even though they lost. And it was continued back to back weeks, albeit it was against the Raiders and the Commanders, but it's not so much who they played for me, it's how it looked. The concepts and schemes that we're seeing on the field are much improved from what they were earlier on the season. The Bills are a terrible defense against the run, so Saquon, Bigsby, and Hurts himself should be able to have success in this one on the ground. And on the other side, Josh Allen is dealing with a foot injury that he himself admitted is pretty sore. So that is something that's concerning. But the Eagles are going to be getting Jalen Carter back in this one, but they will be without Nakobe Dean. And I think that is a monster loss against this Bills offense who loves to run the ball. Dean is one of the best tacklers on this defense. He's been great against the blitz, and he's been great as a blitzer and been great against the run. So I think that's a big loss. And then the guy replacing him, while talented, Jahad Campbell, is just a rookie. So it's a tough spot to ask for him to come in here. It's also supposed to be raining throughout the entirety of this game, but both offenses and quarterbacks in their history have shown the ability to not be affected by precipitation in games. So I like the over 44.5 here in the Eagles Bills. Next up is the Bears at the 49ers. The 49ers are a 3 point favorite with the over under at 52.5. George Kittle is so massive for this 49ers offense, and I have to wait and get clarity on his status before I'm going to pick a side and see what number this closes at. Kittle hasn't practiced all week. After they're calling it a low ankle sprain, which is good. It's way better than a high ankle sprain. But he hasn't practiced all week, but he's still listed as questionable for this 49ers team tomorrow. I'm leaning towards the Bears regardless, because I do think the Bears run game has a massive advantage against this 49ers front, but I do want to see how this number moves and after the official status of Kittle comes out, whether he's going to be in or not. So nothing for now, but most likely going to be on the Bears. Next one up is the Rams at the Falcons. The Rams are a 8.5 point favorite with the over under at 49.5. This should be a big Bijan Robinson game, and we're going to need it to get this cover because I'm going to be on the Falcons plus the 8.5. But the Rams don't really get much push against the run, and they're bottom third in the NFL against pass-catching running backs as well. On the other side, the Rams are going to be without Devontae Adams, and this Falcons pass defense is much better than their run defense, so I'm not sure the Rams will see their usual success downfield passing. And if they do choose to run the ball to negate that, it will slow the game down, limit possessions, which obviously you want in a game where you're going to be backing the dog, catching the points. I like the Falcons to be able to stay within this number. I'm going to take the Falcons plus 8.5 here against the Rams. And I do have 3 college bowl games that we're going to get to, but we'll just go ahead and finish off the NFL real quick. If you missed anything earlier, you can always go back on YouTube and listen to and watch my analysis. YouTube channel is at Red Hot Locks. If you're watching somewhere else, the show is always logged on YouTube. You can go back and watch. But if you're looking the Red Hot Locks for this weekend, because I almost said today and tomorrow, because there is 2 games today. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If you don't want to listen to what I got to say, you can just read them across the bottom. But those Red Hot Locks this week are going to be the Texans money line for a full unit against the Chargers plus 108. The Patriots minus 13.5 for a full unit against the Jets. The Jaguars minus 5.5 for a full unit against the Colts. The Panthers plus 7 for a plus 7 for a half unit against the Seahawks. The Bengals minus 7 for a full unit against the Cardinals, and then the Eagles Bills over 44.5 for a half unit to finish that off. And I'm going to go ahead and let them scroll through one more time in case anybody missed it. And then we're going to get our parlay of the day for Sunday, and then we will move on to the 3 college football bowl games that I have as well. All right, and then finish up. All right, we're going to move on. This is going to be the NFL parlay of the day for Sunday. As always, it's 3 legs. You put 1 unit on it, and it's going to pay $5.79. This week, it's going to be the Patriots minus 13.5, the Jaguars minus 5.5, and the Bengals minus 7. Again, I'm going to let that scroll through one more time. Parlay of the day, as always, 3 legs, 1 unit, and then this week it'll pay plus 5.79, Patriots 13.5, Jaguars 5.5, and then the Bengals minus 7. Now we're going to go ahead and hit our 3 college bowl games for today, starting off at 11 o'clock, actually a little under an hour away, is the Go Bowling Military Bowl, where I'm going to be on the Pitt, East Carolina under 52.5 for a half unit. First off, I don't think either team wants to be in this game. ECU has been in this bowl recently, and Pitt fell short of their lofty goals that they had just a few weeks ago when they welcomed in Miami and Notre Dame. ECU is going to be without one of their top pass catchers and their star quarterback, Caden Hauser, which is a huge blow to this offense. The way to attack this Pitt defense is through the air on explosive plays because they run quarter coverage a lot. And the backup quarterback who we're replacing Hauser is Mike Wright Jr. He's on his 3rd team at his 3rd school, and it's not good when you want to ask him to pass. So I'm expecting a different style of offense from ECU in this one, a much slower style than we're used to seeing, honestly, for both teams in this one than we've seen all year due to the opt-out. So I'm going to be on the under 52.5 here in the Go Military Bowl between Pitt and ECU for a half unit. Then the next one up is going to be the Pop-Tart Bowl between Georgia Tech and BYU. I'm going to be on the over 55.5 for a half unit. Both of these teams are pretty much at full strength coming into this game, which is very rare for a bowl game. Georgia Tech is going to be without their offensive coordinator, though, as he took the offensive coordinator job at Florida next season. But the players, for the most part, are all in. BYU offensively is 4th in the country in quality drives. Georgia Tech is 88th in allowing methodical drives. And BYU is top 20 in havoc allowed. BYU should be able to see little resistance in going down the field against this Georgia Tech defense. And on the other side, Georgia Tech is a heavy rush attack with counter and zone concepts with the Hayes twins, Haynes King at quarterback and Jamal Haynes at running back. Both offenses are also top 12 in the country in red zone scoring. So when they get in scoring position, they usually finish the drives with points. The over is the best look for me in this game. So it's going to be the over 55.5 for a half unit for me in the Pop-Tarts Bowl between Georgia Tech and BYU. And then my final play is going to be the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I'm going to lay Army minus 7.5 against UConn for a full unit. This is my favorite college play of the day. UConn has a ton of opt-outs offensively and defensively. They cannot stop the run, which is a disaster against Army, who runs a triple option offense. UConn is last in the country in stuff rate, sub 40% success rate against every run concept. And Army should run wild against his defense. Also, UConn's coach Jim Moore is already gone. He accepted the Colorado State head coaching job, so they're working with an interim staff with a bunch of opt-outs. And then also why I love backing a team like Army is they're obviously a military academy. You can't opt out. So Army's going to be coming into this full strength, has their full coaching staff. And then the reason why service academies are so valuable is because, like I just said, they can't opt out. They are historically 70% against the spread in bowl games, our service academies, because they always show up at full strength. I love Army in this one. Not only are they in the, to me, obviously in a better situation because all the opt-outs for UConn, they are also obviously just have a great matchup because of how bad UConn's run defense is. So I'm going to lay 7.5 here, Army versus UConn for a full unit. That being said, that's all I have for today. Got to run out, but best of luck, bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you next week.